Hello guys, this is Avcoor, and I want to talk about the dungeon wreck in La Pena Coast. I myself am a little disappointed, more so in myself than anybody else. I mean, well, let's look at this in general. So you see like the top guys, so look at their teams. Look at his team. Look at his team. You see some similar aspects to each of their teams. Like Cloud9 made 11. I'm impressed, bro. You impressed me. So you'll see one consistent character, and that's Sephiroth. And I thought I was going to use Sephiroth too, but it got to this point where I questioned myself, and I was like, why can't I like clear it with my original party? I just didn't feel like right using Sephiroth. It's not like I was mad or anything. It is I didn't feel right using Sephiroth. I wanted to use Barret. I wanted to see how far I could take Barret, and what do you know? I'm top 100, and I questioned myself. Am I following the meta too much? Like, if you're gonna be like, to me, in my opinion, why play the game the same way as everybody else is? Because one day this game is gonna die, like every other game. And why be like everybody else? It meant so much more to me to make top 100 using Barret than it would ever mean to me using Sephiroth. And I questioned myself. I was like, I put a lot of work into the strategy that I implemented because at first, I actually died a couple of times. I'm not gonna lie. I died like 4 times, and my computer actually, well, my phone actually froze up, and that was the fifth one. But I kept going, and I realized something. You really didn't need Sephiroth in order to clear this content. But I spent money to get Sephiroth's weapon, so I feel like kind of stupid. But it's okay. I'm here to share with you a strategy that is going to work because I have tested this strategy. So, what are the key components to this strategy? I'm going to explain them right now. So, the first component to this strategy that will guarantee you at least top 200 or 300, because we have a lot of whales on mine. So, yeah, we have a lot of whales. The first thing I want you to understand, Lightning Breach is king on this content. It doesn't seem like it since they say win, 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 but with this strategy, you'll actually be able to maximize your win damage. So, why do I look at Lightning Breach? Because the devs are lying to you. Lightning is very important in this. In this dungeon, lightning is super important. I would say lightning is just as important as wind. Not more important than wind, just as important as wind because the content is hard in the fact that it forces you in order to pick a pathway to kill these enemies. You can't just kill enemies in any way you want to and expect to succeed. There's actually a direct path that everyone can and should follow in order to kill these enemies. Lightning Breach helps you kill the first 3 symbol bosses really fast. So let me talk about these guys in the order that you should kill the first 3 opponents in. The first guy you need to kill is Scorpion Sentinel. Scorpion Sentinel is key. You have to kill him first because he is so much harder as a second and third boss. And Lightning Breach helps you kill him really fast. In fact, you don't even really worry about the wiggly hoppers. You don't really worry about them. In fact, only against this guy right here do you worry about the wiggly hoppers. So when you hit Airbuster Prototype, that's your second target. Lightning Breach makes this fight extremely easy. And you don't really worry about Dorky Face. If you have a Cloud or who else is good? Barret, you just focus your DPS on him. Don't worry about the dorky faces so you can get the faster clear. And Lightning Breach is very effective in killing him. And Mole Crawler, I think Lightning Breach is a must have. Excuse me. In fact, Lightning Breach in combination with Ramu is very, very important. It allows you to kill this guy super fast. And Mole Crawler is no joke, dude. Even as the third symbol opponent, this dude has massive pools of HP. And he does massive DPS. Don't fight him as the fourth opponent. Do not ever fight this guy as the fourth opponent. He is always third. And the reason he is always third, because there is a little cheat that you can do in this dungeon. So look at the elements again. So you got lightning, lightning, lightning. And the bottom row is wind. This is a cheat. Once you clear these guys, you no longer have to worry about using lightning. This is the trick that the devs didn't want to tell us. But I'm telling you, once you kill Mole Crawler, you get access to a buff that lowers your lightning and buffs up your wind. This is key for you to slaughter these guys. Because let's go back here. You're already getting wind potency plus 20%, right? Well, from Airbuster, you get a 15% wind buff. And then from Mole Crawler, you get 30%. So you're actually looking at a 65% potency buff to your wind. That's insane. I use wind material. I didn't really use any superior wind attacks on Dark Army Leader to kill him. I didn't use any of that. I didn't have Sephiroth. I barely used Aerith-like wind attack. I basically used Cloud and Barret, and I was able to kill him. So you really don't need that. You just need to understand the order of bosses to kill. Scorpion Sentinel, Airbuster Prototype, Mole Crawler. Then you go to Zoo. And once you hit Zoo, this is what you do in order to increase your score. Take the score bonus, take the healing Bane. Why do you do that? Because after you kill Zoo, you only have one more boss to face. And you cannot fight our Infernal Lantern and Dark Army Leader slow. You have to DPS them fast, so you're not that worried about healing. You want a quick, fast, efficient DPS rush. And that requires you to moderately heal. So taking the healing buff in order to get the score boost is optimum here if you follow my strategy. Scorpion Sentinel, Airbuster Prototype, Mole Crawler, Zoo. And then you go after Dark Army Leader. You don't even worry about Infernal Lantern. Infernal Lantern is pretty tough, but you don't have to even bother with him. Dark Army Leader is easy if you have Barret. And why does Barret make Dark Army Leader easy? Barret has one of the best debuffs for physical damage in the game. Your goal when you fight Dark Army Leader is to save up your summons. When you fight Zoo, try to build up as much of your summon as you can. I know you're on a speed rush, but try to build up as much as you can. In fact, it'd be optimum for you to save your Shiva. Like, if you have Shiva, just save him for Dark Army Leader. If you think you need Shiva, then use him. But if you don't think so, then don't. Because what happens when you face Dark Army Leader, it is a DPS rush. It is a pure DPS rush. Because if you don't kill him in a certain amount of time, you're going to lose. But the trick is, he actually likes to buff himself. But if you debuff his defense to -3, then when he buffs himself, he will no longer be able to add defense to himself. Your goal with Barret, if you use a debuff strategy, is to drop him to -3 defense and pop a summon. Once you pop a summon, not only are you attacking the mobs, but you're also attacking him. Because the trick to summons are, they attack both physical and magic defense. So once you debuff their defense, they actually do extra damage. And this is how you kill Dark Army Leader really quick. You debuff him. So you don't really need Sephiroth because you're already getting 65% wind potency, and his weakness is wind. And he's resistant to ice, but ice still hurts the mobs, so you don't worry about that. And if you can store up enough in order to build another Ramu, which I did. I built up Ramu Ifrit and Shiva, I was able to attack him 3 times, wipe off the mobs, and then I started DPSing him down. And that's all you really need. But of course, the last thing, you're going to need a strong physical or magical DPS. I use my Cloud because that's the best DPS I have, and he was able to get the job done. But simply put, he had the lightning covered with Murasame. I only added the lightning material because it had a 55 point physical attack, but you're going to need a dedicated DPS. You're going to need a guy that constantly DPSs. I didn't even put healing on Cloud because he didn't really need it. I didn't put healing on Barrett. He really did need it. But you will need a solid healer. And that was Aerith for me. And honestly, I really didn't use her wind attacks that much. I only really used her healing. So in a better world, I would have put her Fairy Tail X as her main weapon. But I didn't do that. And it was not required. I will do a run with Sephiroth. But honestly, that's just for me. I just want to see if he's good or not. But I'm so satisfied with the fact that I didn't use Sephiroth in order to clear this at S plus. I only cared about getting S plus ranking on all 3 of them. I didn't really care about being top 100. That wasn't it for me. It was for me to see how far I could take my Sephiroth. I mean my Barrett. If I could actually use him, despite him not being that great of a character. He did get all the good stuff that the other characters got, and I was upset about that. But I am so proud that I was able to take Barrett this far. But with this strategy, honestly, you could use Red 13. You could use you could actually use a variation of Cloud as a debuffer, and you can use Glenn. You can actually use Glenn using this strategy. This same strategy works for Glenn if you get his physical debuff weapon. It works pretty well. But anyways, if you like my content, hit the like, share, subscribe button. I'll get back to you. Have a great day, and goodbye.